Hi, welcome to Cardinal Rose Tarot. Welcome back. I know it's been a minute since I've done an upload or a live. It's because I've got another creative project going that I finally have the momentum that I kind of lacked before when I was needing to move it forward. So I just kind of let it go and let it percolate for a little bit, and this full moon really set it off for me again. So I rode that wave for several days moving that project forward. So that's why I haven't been here. But thank you for being here. This is actually not the project, but I just wanted to share because I'm proud of these. This is something that I do, but I rarely end up giving away just because I'm kind of an introvert, and haven't, especially since the pandemic, I just haven't been seeing people as much face-to-face socializing. I'll get back to it eventually, but I'm an extreme introvert. But these are all, I just made this for a friend. There's a friend and I that are going to be a comrade that I go way back with from Portland. We used to volunteer together with Don't Shoot Portland. Don't Shoot Portland was founded after the police murder of Mike Brown. And this comrade and I were volunteered for a long time together, and I really miss that activism community since moving. This has been years and years ago now, but she's going to be up here this weekend in solidarity with some actions that are happening up my way against ICE, just basically dragging people off the street and kidnapping them essentially without any due process, right? And so she was bringing me some plants, and then I was like, well, I have all these flower essences. Do you want me to make you a couple blends as a thank you for coming up here? And so I did, and I just want to share them because if you're interested, you can go to my Instagram, message me there, and I'll send you these essences. These are blends that I made. I wildcrafted these flowers and plants myself. I harvested them all right here where I live on the land that we own with the county, right? So this is all made by me. I'm trained as a Western herbalist. These are essences. These are used, solar infusion is the method that I use for my flower essences in local natural water here from the creek that runs through. So this one is a spray that I'm going to give her, and I named this blend Grounded and Healed Warrior Protection because she is a grounded and healed warrior, but she needs protection just like we all do when we're fighting powers that can feel overwhelming and bigger than us. So this is just a blend of essences that I've made. It includes hawthorn, red currant, sword fern, salmonberry, and trillium. And then I also put just 1 drop of dragon's blood essential oil in here so that you can spray this around you and feel empowered and grounded and clear in your communication and in your courage as well, right? To keep going, to keep fighting the good fight and causing good trouble, right? So this is going to be a gift for her when I see her tomorrow at the action that we're doing together. That's the warrior spray for a grounded and healed warrior, because warriors often need to heal before they can go back out in the field. And if they don't heal and they're out there fighting battles when they're unhealed, it can be dangerous, right? So this is to help your inner warrior heal so that you can keep staying in the fight, right? And keep your feet on the ground, staying energetically grounded and clear and focused as much as you need your sacred rage, right? So then the other one is a little roll-on that I made for her. So this you can just roll on your skin to take in the essences instead of spray it. This is to befriend and comfort and heal your inner child and nervous system. And I put 1 drop of bergamot oil in here, so as a roll-on you have a nice smell, right? It isn't just water. And again, with all these plants, I wildcrafted these myself right around where I live. The water's right here where I live, spring water. It's creek water, not spring water. This is figwort, Solomon's plume, orange honeysuckle, trillium, and salmonberry. So this is an essence that you can roll on to help soothe and comfort your inner child, how to befriend your inner child and let them know you've got their back, and also just soothe your own nervous system when the world feels like it's coming at you hard, right? And you need comfort and protection and soothing, like of a mother, right? That's what this is right here in this little bottle. So I can't wait to give these to her as a thank you tomorrow. And I just love stuff like this. So if you're interested and you want me to make you a flower essence blend just to protect and help your soul healing and emotional healing, message me via Cardinal Rose Tarot at Instagram and I'll put a blend together. It's important that you know, though, I don't have an online market. I'm not somebody that's like, oh yeah, my Etsy shop and I do online mailing all the time. You're dealing with somebody who's an online selling amateur. So it's not like that where you're going to have to order through Etsy and give me a review and I get it mailed immediately the next day. It's not like that. So it might be a minute, right? But yeah, just, I don't even know what I would charge. Maybe $10 for the spray and $15 for the roll-on or something like that, right? Just let me know if you're interested. Find me on Instagram and message me and I'll send you a blend that I make for you. I'm proud of these essences and my herbalism work. So let's get into a reading. I had channeled messages and I said to Spirit, please help me not forget these if they're really meant to come through, because they gave me chills and goosebumps at the time that I had them this morning, but I don't have them now. So I'm going to trust that even though I can't think what those channeled messages were, they'll come through during the reading if they're really that important. So it was something that really seemed important, though. It gave me goosebumps, and I can't remember now what it was. So another use of healing plants for us. Here is the smudge stick with western red cedar and a bunch of other stuff in here. Seasonally clove, cinnamon, orange, good for this time of year for the winter solstice to protect us through the dark months. So I just wanted to get that going too and send that to you. And I hope you're doing well out there. Tonight's live that I'm going to do is so long as I have the strong enough signal, is a Gift of the Magi layout. It's a layout that I do special this time of year. It's unique to Cardinal Rose Tarot. I created this layout myself. I don't mind if other readers use it, but I just ask if you care about that kind of thing, that you let people know where you learned it, which was for me, that I made that reading up, right? But whatever, tarot's tarot. It's not. And magic is magic. You don't always have to source your stuff. I try to give credit where I think it's needed or warranted, right? I wasn't born knowing these things. I learned, like my witching teacher, who is a Trolldom initiate, which is Eastern and Western European magic from Scandinavia. Her name is Corinne Boyer. She works out of the Olympic Peninsula. I like sharing about that stuff, like how and where I learned what I learned and what I know. So, all right, let's see what wants to come out. What wants to come out first? I got this little pine here for my tree that I'll plant at some point. My goal is to plant it where I move at my new home. So what does Spirit want us to know? What's an important collective message for us? What's an important collective message? Collective messages, Spirit. What do we need to know? What's going to be important for us to know from the Marseille? Well, the moon, and we're in the full moon in Gemini energy. And it was a super moon and a cold moon, so very powerful. Full moon in Gemini, clarity, reflection, right? There was also a lot of activity, a stellium, I think it is, in the sign of Sagittarius. So ambition, focus, power, determination, motivation, along with clarity, moving things forward. And that energy worked great for me, right? As I was just saying at the opening of the reading, and moving a couple other creative projects forward that I hadn't had the energy for, in part because I was so focused on doing this channel, that I was like, oh my God, I suddenly have all the energy for this other thing. I'm going to really focus on it and not let anything distract. So that's present for us. The lunar energy is really impacting us. Ooh, wow, this is powerful. So we have two aces, and an ace will often be set the tone for the whole reading, and we have two, an ace of cups and an ace of pentacles. So you've set some boundaries to protect a new beginning for yourself because you have created this and desired for a new beginning. You're in Empress, Queen of Swords energy, which means you've attracted through your discernment and through your boundary setting and through your cord cutting a new future where you attract what is meant for you and what you desire, not the old. And that's very potent energy with this lunar and lunation, with this cold final supermoon of the year. This year is a number 9 year. Number 9 is a a number of completions. So you really are working well with this energy. And you are this Queen of Swords Empress. And you have cut cords, set limits, used discernment, made a very distinct focus and choice in what you want going forward. And you're leaving the past behind and you're willing to protect it at all costs. You're not letting love interfere with your desire to move forward in your life. That's interesting. I've never noticed this, but there's no way to know with the Ace of Pentacles in the Marseille deck, the way that's designed, there's no way to know whether it's upright or reverse. And when I was first laying this out, I was not thinking of reversals. And so I had this weird moment of like, oh shoot, that's right. Am I going to read reversals for this layout? Because traditionally I don't. I haven't read reversals. But I've started to on this channel because it helps me get to the message quicker for a collective reading, because I didn't used to do collective readings, but there was no reason before I had a YouTube channel. It was always one-on-one. And one-on-one, you don't really need reversals, in my opinion, because tarot is complete and complex enough on its own. But with a collective message where maybe over 100 people are watching, reading reversals helps me and helps you know whether the reading is for you or not, and helps distinguish out the message in a more clear way. And there's no way to know with the Ace of Pentacles whether it's reverse or upright. It's an opportunity and it's a seed that's been planted that you are guarding with everything. That's your most important new beginning, leaving the past behind. And you're not letting this love relationship stop you. And it may have felt, oh yeah, oh my gosh, because look at this. There's an Emperor and an Empress here. I didn't even see that. In between them is a Two of Cups in reverse. And so we're going to have to maybe look at why to you this relationship felt like it was holding you back, because both of you are in the upright. The Emperor and the Empress are both in the upright here. Your new beginning is assured, but for some reason you have felt like this love is not for you and you chose no to the love. You chose... Yeah, this is a little bit confusing. You chose yourself because you were like, it's time for me to get selfish, essentially. Like, it's time for me to look out for number one. And you might not have said that to yourself, like, I need to get selfish, but you may have been somebody that didn't used to be a Queen of Swords. You might have been more of a Queen of Cups, but this hurt, you got hurt or burned so badly that you're like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and embrace my inner shadow and help it and let it teach me how to set boundaries, because this relationship hasn't been good for me. It's held me back. I feel like it's preventing me moving forward in my own life, and I choose me. I choose my own future, and I'm not ashamed of that, right? I'm going to embrace that. What's interesting though is that it says Tower in reverse, and I think that means that you felt that this Emperor was preventing you from changing or from growing. Is that right? He's in the upright, but you may have felt that he was too rigid or something. An Emperor and an Empress in the upright are well matched, but you may have felt for some reason that this is not a good love for you and that you need to move on because the Emperor in a struggling in a dark aspect can be more rigid or controlling or unwavering or unbending and uncompromising, and you may have felt like he's only willing to give what he wants to give. He's not willing to compromise. I'm not willing to do that anymore. Because I want my own future that isn't all about this person or something. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Is that right with this Devil card, Spirit? Yeah, I'm picking up that you may have felt like this relationship was going to trap you. Like you were trapped, possibly, in a marriage that felt controlling or stifling to you. Marriage, I say, because of this Four of Wands, like a home life marriage is what would be indicated here. And it says High Priestess in the reverse, so I just want to get a little bit of clarity on what that means. If that means that you feel it was blocking your ability, your spiritual growth, your esoteric work to be in this relationship. This person might have been somebody that's more like a traditionalist, and you're not a traditionalist. And you were disappointed and felt trapped and finally decided, I'm not choosing love, I'm choosing me here. That's what's coming through, but I'm a little confused about the High Priestess in reverse. What's the High Priestess in reverse? Interesting. So the reverse card is queer liberation. So what is coming through is that you may have been not out to your community. You might be bi or you might be queer, right? And being in this home life with this Emperor was too stifling because it was too traditional. And you wanted out of that. You were like, I have to choose me. I have to choose my own joy. I have to be comfortable with my own needs. It's not selfish. It's self-honoring, and I need to honor that and move forward. This could also be a gender identity with pentacles and cups right next to each other, which could be considered masculine and feminine. And you may have, God, listen to that rain. So I think I'm onto something here. The rain was supposed to be ended by now, and there's a little bit of a surprise downpour. So I feel like that's relevant here. You might have actually had to disclose to somebody, I'm sorry, but I'm not who I was born. I don't match my body. Okay, that could be true for some people. Tell us about the Emperor in the upright. Tell us about the Emperor in the upright. You can handle this. You don't know your own strength, but it's in the reverse. So your partner does not feel like they can handle this change that you're making. Or at least that's what they've said up until now. And that's what's causing this relationship ending. Is that they do not feel like they can adjust to this shock. They are worried and they don't feel like they can embrace this. They are strong enough. They're an emperor, right? So an emperor, a willing emperor can change. And it doesn't matter which one of you is masculine or feminine here. These are talking about the Empress is receptive and the Emperor is active, right? Okay, so think of it like positive and negative charge, batteries, right? That's the kind of energy we're talking about. Gender doesn't need to be in play here. I sense that gender's in play for some of you, that this might be an issue of being trans and you're coming out in your relationship, in your marriage, in your home life, in your committed partnership as trans or as queer, and your partner is not able to handle it. They are strong enough to handle it because they're an emperor, but they are saying, I can't handle this, or else they don't want to handle it, right? Either way. And you may be perceiving them as rigid because of that, because they may be saying, I don't want to. It's not that I can't, it's that I don't want to. Or you may be saying that to them. You can, you just don't want to. And you know what? That's fair too. Like, if my partner came to me and said, I'm trans, I am the same gender as you, I don't know what I would do, because there are very few women identified people out there that I'm physically attracted to. They exist, but it's rare. So it's likely that I would be like, I don't think we can be together anymore because I don't feel attracted to other women. And now that you're saying you're a woman, I don't know what to do, right? So there's There's no right or wrong here, and that's why this Emperor is in the upright, because there's no bad guy or good guy, right? It's a painful situation. I'm sorry that you're going through this. But the important thing to pay attention to here is that you put yourself first, and that's huge for you. It's huge, but it's right for you, because you're now being able to be authentic, and you're protecting your authenticity. So now what do we need to do? Now what we should be doing is, let's pull some cards for the devil energy and where this is headed, because this has been probably very sorrowful and stressful. And if it wasn't sorrowful, it was probably at least stressful. Can you tell us about this devil card in the upright? So on the split, we have the Six of Cups in the reverse. So it's like you're saying, I'm not going backwards. You're very committed to going forwards in your truth, okay? As difficult as it's been to walk away from this relationship that had you feeling trapped. Ten of Pentacles in where the energy is going is very positive. And you need the encouragement. It's a happy, safe, and secure home life. Okay, that's coming for you regardless. Even though you're ending this relationship, it's coming. You're going to have a safe, happy, and secure home life, no matter what, no matter where you are. You're very tired from this. You feel embattled. This is the card of feeling very battle weary. Okay, exhausted from this entire experience, really tired. But you've won, okay? That's the important thing about the Nine of Wands too, is that you've been victorious. You've successfully navigated the situation, but you're very tired, okay? So that's, you haven't failed though, that's a successful card. It just means it's telling the truth about how difficult it's been. And Nine of Pentacles, you're staying single, okay? So it's interesting because by choosing to stay single, you feel embattled and weary, but you feel like it's authentic, and it's going to bring you to a truly authentic and happy home life, because you're not living a lie anymore, because you're being honest about who you are with everybody, including yourself. You surrendered to the truth. You surrendered to the truth no matter who it was going to hurt. And I can tell that this was painful. This has been very difficult. I can only imagine. Especially between a couple like an Emperor and an Empress. I mean, that's a lot of mutual respect. It's equal power, right? It's equal regard, and it's equal mastery in many ways of life's lessons up until this point. And that's probably what finally got you to the stage of being able to say, look, I need to tell the truth here about who I am, not just to you, but to my community, to my world. And that's not an easy choice, of course. I don't know what that's like personally. I'm just speaking that truth. I know it's not easy. I've served many trans people. It requires, almost like it demands of you, self-obsession, right? To figure yourself out, to understand what's making you tick. What is in your way? Why am I not accepted? Why do I feel like an alien, right? Like all of that, almost by nature, requires self-obsession to sort it out. And I've served a lot of folks who struggle to be like, I just don't want to be obsessed with my gender anymore and who I am and my body, and like I want to be free of it, but I feel imprisoned by it, right? So it's a very difficult journey, and I just want to honor that. And no, I don't know what it's like firsthand, but I care deeply, and I'm sorry that this has, but it's showing that you have successfully done this. That's what's important. And you're on your way to a more authentic existence where you are able to feel happy and secure and joyful in an authentic way, not in a way that's got a veneer of illusion, because you're not being true to who you are, right? I was married, and I've been married twice, and the first time I got married I was in my 20s, and really had a lot of respect for that person. We had a lot in common. We knew each other from the time we were like 13, 14, had parted ways for many years, and then found each other again, and it really clicked, and we ended up married. And then at some point after we were married, my partner came out as bi. And the thing that was hard for me about it wasn't that they were bi. I didn't care. I was a little bit hurt that they didn't trust me to tell me, for one thing, before we got married. But that's not about me. I had to learn that was, you know, they were on their own journey and it wasn't about me, right? But still, they married me. And so there was a little bit worth of critiquing there. Like, hey, it would have been nice had you known and felt like you could tell me ahead of time, because I didn't have all the information I needed when I fell in love with you. Okay, right? And maybe you might argue, well, what do you need to know, or what's the big deal whether someone's bi or not? There is no big deal, and that's the whole thing, is that I didn't care, so I felt upset that it was withheld. Like, why were you keeping a secret, right? But it wasn't about me, and I know that. Someone's just trying to survive when they're living that kind of existence, right? But other people often get hurt because of homophobia in our society, making people feel unsafe to be who they are. So I had to go through a process, even though it didn't affect me, and we were still married, and I did end up getting cheated on, but at that time, I don't think I was anyways. And so I had to kind of find my way with that, right? And then I went and confided in another person who was like, they're just gay, there's no such thing as bi, they're just afraid to tell you the whole truth. And I had to kind of push back on that and be like, let's not erase bi people, okay? So anyways, it didn't hurt our marriage, but like, let's say he had come to me and said I'm queer, of course we would not have been together, because I don't want to be somebody's beard. I want to actually be with someone who wants to fuck me, right? So there you go. These are dilemmas around stuff like that, right? And it's okay to be honest about that. So now I'll just go ahead and pull for you, because what are maybe some final... You seem pretty secure, so I'm not really sure why this reading came out, except for that you might need some advice. Because you seem very secure in your decision and recognizing that you need to protect it and that it's right. So maybe this just came out to validate you and confirm you that you're being witnessed by spirit, or by the spirit realm, for the difficult process you've been in with your partner. And I almost said con tu pareja. So I'm just going to do an advice spread. Any advice, since I'm not exactly sure why this reading came out, other than maybe to give you some confirmation that you're not being bad, you're not being selfish. Because someone else got hurt doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing that. That's the thing too, is that it's hard to be the one doing the hurting. I know, I've been hurt and I've been the one causing the hurt. Neither one is a good position to be in. They both suck, okay? So if you're the one in this case, because of gender or identity or sexuality expression, that's caused an ending to a marriage, you're not wrong, okay? You're not wrong for putting yourself first for the first time and being true to who you are. But I know it sucks to hurt someone else. It really sucks. But that doesn't mean you should be with someone because you don't want to hurt them, right? That's not, I mean, they don't want that either, really. If they're deep down, they're a vulnerable part of them may think that they do, but someone doesn't really want to be with someone who's settling for them, right? So this might have needed to come out just to help you know that you're not being bad for causing hurt, right? It's not bad to, especially when, having the courage to break up with someone is being fair to the other person as well. I know that can, when you're the one being broken up with, it doesn't feel like that. It's hard. Until you've grieved the loss, it's hard to know that or see that or believe that, but it's true. So this is just advice now. Advice and why this came out. I'm also hearing a song. It came through for me personally, but it's playing now in my head again because it's coming through for you, and it might help you like it helps me. So it's by Alice in Chains. It's Nutshell. It's my favorite song by Alice in Chains. It's very brief lyrics wise, but when I need to cry, that song almost is a guarantee that if I play that song, I'll just cry from my soul, because I've had a lot of loss and reasons to grieve in my life that sometimes I just push it down because it's like, I can't cry anymore. I can't grieve anymore. I can't face any more loss. Okay. Like, I don't know if I had bad karma from past lives or what, but I did. I just had a lot of loss in my life. And sometimes I need to cry and I can feel it, but I can't get it out. And that song will do it for me. So Nutshell is a really good song. And it's about that very thing. If I can't belong to myself, if I can't be my own, I'm better dead, right? I don't want to live if I can't live my truth, okay? It's a super potent song. It gives me chills. It reminds me of my brother. It reminds me of my nephew. It reminds me of me and my own journey. And personally, because one of the things it talks about is having no one to cry to and nowhere to call home. And if you're going through that kind of experience, that's what it often costs you, is your home, your family, right? And so you might need that cry, because this has been a long healing journey, and it's probably taken you through the fucking fire of healing and coals, right? Walking on coals, and you might need a good cry, and that song might help you cry. It helps me. Okay. This is your advice. When faced with a lack of movement forward, when faced with like feeling stuck or in a position of like being at cross purposes or at odds, like when we had that Empress Emperor cards in the first spread with the Two of Cups reversed in the center, that's indicates like people turned away from one another, and there's a lot of hurt. Even though you're both very elevated people, there's a lot of hurt present, and there's a feeling that we're not strong enough to get through this, is what it's saying. Because it's so potent, and because both of you are hurting, because now that's what's coming through even more, and why this is coming out is because you are very concerned about the other person's hurt, because you love and care about them. That's what's coming through. The advice is be wise as the serpent and gentle as the dove. So being gentle is going to be a good path forward. Even if you're the one that's going through the extreme end of the identity thing here, you can still be gentle. But you're being wise by being true to yourself. Wisdom combined with gentleness is the way forward between the two of you as you continue to do whatever. Because you live together is what it was showing. So you might be trying to separate out, right, your lives. Just be gentle, right? That's the first one. The challenge is working to get clarity. There's still confusion. And so it's saying it's a worthy endeavor. Keep going. Keep your torch lit as you continue to work out the clarity between you and work out your plan. Keep going. Keep doing it. It's worthy and it's important. You're an emperor and an empress, so it's important that you both feel heard, respected, that this dissolves or changes or whatever in a way that you both feel witnessed and honored. Okay, that's the advice. The traditional way is over. This is the key, right? The traditional relationship has ended. It's time to cleanse that away. The traditional way that this relationship looked is over. Go ahead and grieve and cleanse it away, right? That's the lesson. It's okay to grieve. You're grieving. You're both grieving. Smudging might help. Like I just smudged at the beginning of this reading and it said clear the energy. So doing this regularly, or taking salt baths, doing things that, walking in nature, meditating, listening to things on YouTube that are energy clearing meditations, whatever. Just do things to cut cords with your old life and cleanse out the hurt between you, right? This is powerful messaging here. The advice is that as this illusion and all of these options start opening up for you, not illusion, it's not illusion. Sometimes the seven of, oh no, wait a second, sorry, I'm not even thinking of the right suit here. This is a Seven of Pentacles. So your advice is to keep doing the hard work. Keep going, keep your torch lit, keep going. You're tired, I know. It's saying to keep going because there's abundance coming for you, and there's profound love and respect between you, even though your relationship has changed, and for you in your community. You have a lot of love around you, a lot of respect around you, including between one another. There's a lot of abundance coming for you if you just keep doing your work. And it might feel like you're not getting anywhere right now materially. Abundance is coming. So that might be another stressful layer to this, is that you might be struggling financially, and that's why the 7 and 8 of Pentacles are here, is because there's still, you're both working together, or you're both having to work while you process this whole thing, right? It's a big deal. But it's saying, don't lose heart, because at the end of the day, the deep root between both of you and between you and your community is profound love and respect. So you have nothing to fear. You're doing all of the right things to get through a situation like this. And then finally, where the energy is headed, you're being witnessed by the heavens, okay? By either crossed over loved ones or your God, whatever you see as your higher power, the universe. It's a beautiful fate that's coming for you. Be very, very gentle with your inner child. It's not always going to be a logical answer to this. Sometimes you're going to have an emotional answer to what your needs are. And that's because they're coming from an inner child that needs you to protect them, right? So it's saying, and that's why I feel like this is like an ancestral message, or God's, like the universe's message, is to protect your inner child. Be gentle with your inner child. Don't always rule with the sword of logic and reason and cutting cords and cutting tight, right? You need to also remember your heart in the equation, and remember to be really tender with your inner child. That's probably the one that's so exhausted from all of this, right? It's a lot to ask our inner children when we're going through these kinds of super complex adult relationship challenges. When our inner children are like, I just want to feel loved and safe, and I'm scared and freak the fuck out, right? That's what is going to be coming in the immediate future, is just to be really gentle and patient with yourself as you wrap this all up, because it's ending. So be good to yourself through it. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. And much respect. If you like my work, please like and subscribe to my channel, and comments are always appreciated because they help my videos get into the algorithm. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.